Coming up, she is fresh off of winning the Next Level Chef competition. We visit with Pyet DeSpain. And the Sundance Indigenous program has a new leader. Plus, Cal State San Bernardino hires its first elder and culture bearer in residence. I am Aaliyah Chavez. Join us for those interviews, plus headlines from the ICT Newscast.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University is honored to be a supporter of Indian Country Today. ASU offers the only online undergraduate digital media literacy degree, teaching students how to recognize and combat inaccuracies on all platforms. They are using cutting-edge tools and tactics to separate fact from fiction in a digital world overloaded with misinformation. Learn more at cronkite.asu.edu.
This is the ICT Newscast with Aaliyah Chavez.
Guwatsi Hopa. Thank you for joining us. As election season begins to warm up, ICT is taking a look at the issues and policies affecting Indigenous communities. Most state legislatures are either in the middle of their season or prepping for Election Day on November 8th. According to an analysis by ICT, Native-themed mascots are an important policy-making issue present across many states. Lawmakers in Iowa are introducing a bill to end Native-themed mascots in schools by 2024, and New Hampshire delegates are reviewing a similar bill. Redistricting may have the biggest impact on candidates, with nearly 40 states adopting proposals to redraw boundary lines. After a battle with cancer, acclaimed Ojibwe visual artist Jim Denemy has died. The Lakota citizen's metaphorical surrealism examined historical and contemporary events. Paintings like Attack on Fort Snelling Bar and Grill helped Denemy to visualize Native historical, political, and social narratives. His art space, Wabuj Studio, was named for the Ojibwe word for rabbit, which also represents the Ojibwe trickster Nanabuju. The master artist embraced his urban Indigenous identity, using it as a knowledge base for his work.
Consciously or abstractly, who I am is in my work. So a lot of my work does pertain to my culture, my Native American Anishinaabe identity, and it's something that I express because I'm proud of who I am and where I come from.
The Minneapolis Institute of Art will exhibit a survey of his work in 2023. More than 600 artists came to Phoenix, Arizona this weekend to participate in the 64th annual Herd Museum Guild Indian Market and Fair. This is one of the largest Native art markets in the world. More than 14,000 people attended the two-day event. Cliff Frawa from Jemez Pueblo says despite low sales for him, he was happy for other artists.
It wasn't what I expected, but that's fine because, I did make some sales. As far as the show, there's a lot of empty booths now because artists have sold out, or they've done well enough so that they can go ahead and close up and then return to their homes.
Last year, this market was held online. Nearly $100,000 in prize money was awarded to art in 10 different categories. The Cherokee Nation is embracing tech to help its endangered language. Principal Chief Richard Sneed is hoping to immerse younger tribal citizens in the nation's language using tools they already have. After tribal leaders consulted with Motorola, the tech company introduced a Cherokee language interface on its newest line of phones. Sneed says blending his heritage onto a digital screen brings home some healing to the damage done by cultural discrimination and oppression.
And essentially you're taught that everything about you as a human being is bad and God doesn't like it, right? Your language, your dress, your culture, your religious beliefs, all of that. And you're punished for being who you were created to be. And what does that do to a child? And what does it do to that young person as they grow into a teen and then to an adult, and then when they have children of their own?
Several other big tech companies are also expressing interest in making their technology work better for endangered Indigenous languages. If you're looking to get your start in the animation world, Netflix just released an opportunity for Indigenous creatives. ICT's Karina Dominguez has more.
Netflix is looking to help Native creatives break into the animation industry.
Too slow!
The Netflix Animation Foundation is launching its second 4-month-long mentorship program, and this time around, it's collaborating with Illuma Native and Veterans in Media and Entertainment. The organizations will help identify candidates from Native and veteran communities for the program's new cohort. The program is designed to assist early career artists, particularly those from underrepresented communities, better compete for entry-level positions. In a statement, Netflix said it wants to bring more diverse stories to its audiences, like it did last year with its animated series, Maya and the Three, because it helps people see new perspectives. 74 mentees and 19 mentors were in the program last year, and Netflix says the results were encouraging. Karina Dominguez, reporting for ICT.
And those are the headlines for the ICT Newscast. Coming up, we speak to an educator at Cal State San Bernardino. But first, she is an entrepreneur and a culinary educator. Now, Pyet DeSpain can add winner of Next Level Chef to her list of titles. Stay with us. Pyet DeSpain was crowned the winner of Next Level Chef last week. It is a new cooking competition from award-winning chef Gordon Ramsay. Pyet is from the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation and is also Mexican. She says she drew inspiration from both cultures for the show. Let's take a look at the moments before she won.
The person who will be our Next Level Chef.
Pick me. Please pick me.
I really, really want this. I still have so much more to give and prove. I want to win so badly. It's time. It's time.
Congratulations goes to Pyet.
I know what I've come from. I know the battles. I know the grit and the fight that I put out. Living out of my car, trying to make this dream happen. Oh my God.
Aside from bragging rights, Pyet is also walking away with $250,000, and she joins us today. Chef Pyet, welcome to the ICT Newscast, and congratulations to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So has this set in for you yet? How are you feeling waking up knowing that you are the Next Level Chef?
You know, I'm still kind of pinching myself every time I watch the clip where, Gordon Ramsay announces me as the winner. My mom is like frantically like crying. I still get teary-eyed because I'm just like, oh my gosh, that really happened. And so, I'm still kind of letting it soak in. That way I can really savor the moment. But it's been an incredible experience.
I actually would love for you to reflect on that moment. I think that's the part that really gave me chills was when you were hugging your mom, just because I think so many of us in Native communities really love and adore and, take in mind all of the sacrifices that our moms make. For you, when you were hugging her, what was going through your mind in that moment?
So our family has gone through a lot, as many families have their obstacles and their challenges. But to see my mom, I've obviously known her my whole life, and I've seen what she's gone through, and just to see her that proud and be able to share that moment with her was so incredibly special. And I kind of had a flashback of of all that we've been through together as a mother and a daughter and as a family, and to see all of this joy on her face. It was like, you won, she won. I won for her. I won for all the mothers just like her. And it was just, it was a moment where I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, because it was just, there's no other better feeling in the world than like doing something that makes not only just your mother, but all the mothers just like her so incredibly proud. So I think that's, her reaction really like took me over to the top on that crying emotional roller coaster.
So many people are meeting you for the first time now. And one of the parts on the show that really stuck with me was the fact that you were talking so much about this journey, about taking a chance on your dream. For our viewers who hadn't heard that story, tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Kansas City, was born in Oklahoma, raised in Kansas City, and I decided to, become a chef. And I had a hard time in Kansas City finding clients to take on, and no one wanted to hire private chefs here or in Kansas City. And so I decided to just get up and move out of Kansas. That way I could try to reach the level of success that I wanted to. And I thought to myself, where is a place that a private chef has, an abundance of resources and job opportunities? And Los Angeles was one of the first ones that came to mind. And so I just packed up my car with my cat and everything that I owned, and I drove across the country to live in Los Angeles to try to make this dream work. And I've been in Los Angeles for 4 years, and it's been very, very tough, not only as a woman, as a chef, just as a Native American, Mexican, minority. It was really, really tough. And I faced homelessness. I was couch surfing. I lived out of my car with 2 suitcases for a year, just kind of bouncing around, me and my cat, going places to places. And it was just really an uncomfortable feeling. And I just, used to sit on the beach and cry and like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? And of course, my family's like, you can always come back home. But I'm one of those people that when I set my mind to something, like I have to see it through. I have to give myself that opportunity to really like do it until the end. And I kept thinking, is this the end of it? Like, is this all? Do I have to go back to Kansas now and feel like a failure? And I kind of just, dug deep, and I thought to myself, no, I can't do that. And I continuously just worked towards my dreams and sharpened my skill set and did everything I possibly could to make this dream work. And it wasn't until I started falling into my heritage and really making food that represented myself and represented Indigenous people that things kind of started clicking and moving into a better direction. And I'm a very spiritual person, and so I had to do that, dig deep and really recognize like what my soul's purpose was and what am I here to do, what am I here to represent. And it wasn't until I started asking those questions that I started getting the answers. And so it landed me fortunately on the Gordon Ramsay's cooking show Next Level Chef. And I experienced a lot of hardships during that people didn't quite know about either. But I lost a friend while I was in the first week of filming for that show. And I almost left the show one week in, but I decided, like, just because her journey is over doesn't mean that this journey has to end for me. Like, this is like my wildest dreams coming true. And so I, really dug deep, and fortunately I was able to pull through and end up on top as the winner.
Well, Pyet, all of us are cheering you on, and we congratulate you again. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
The Sundance Institute recently hired a new director to take over the Indigenous program. Adam Perrone is its new leader. Perrone serves as a short film programmer for the Sundance Film Festival, and he joins us now to talk about what direction he's envisioning for this program. Welcome, Adam, and congratulations.
Thanks so much.
So it's been a few days now since the position has been announced. How are you feeling, and what has the reaction been?
Yeah, no, it's felt pretty good. Like, I mean, I've known for a little while, and I know Bird's known for a little while as well too. But I think actually having it out in the world and stuff was definitely kind of a new step with it. But yeah, I feel the reaction's been really positive. My my phone was blowing up the other day. I had to like recharge it twice during the day just because I kept getting so many notifications. So pretty flattered and, really excited for this new chapter.
Adam, what are some of the goals you have moving into this position?
Yeah, I think maintaining a lot of the work that Bird had done and laid the groundwork for, mostly around representation and visibility within the film industry, and and I think continuing to do what our program has done for 4 generations of Native filmmakers, to just keep supporting them, listening to them, and seeing what they want and how they want to tell their stories on their own terms, and going from there. And I mean, I'm also really hoping that within this moment, that's there's this real sort of blossoming of Indigenous made work, both in film and TV, that we can keep pushing it in that direction, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my vision for it, is really sort of like taking a lot of the heat that's going on right now and really trying to move it forward and seeing how much further we can even take it from here. So.
As you mentioned before, Bird Runningwater was the director for a very long time, and you're stepping in now to fill his shoes. I want to give you a moment to reflect on what that feels like for you. Does that come with pressure? Are you excited? Sort of reflect on, taking over that position.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd say more excited than like pressure or anything. Like I started with the program back in 2007 as an intern. I've sort of worked all the different positions since then, and working with Bird, and Bird's been a great mentor, friend, and something like family as well too. And I think I think spending all that time with the program and with Bird, and like really learning not only what the program has done, but it's sort of its legacy within this space, and knowing what it does and seeing how we can keep it going forward, and just trying new things as well too. So I think that's what I'm really excited about. I think that it's again, I think sort of how when Bird left, sort of where everything was at was like such an insane moment. If you were to think back, like not even a decade, even like 5 years, that something like this would have been possible within sort of this current moment of Indigenous filmmakers like working both in the Hollywood system and then also like abroad, and then also people that are also working in the art world as well too. There's really like, I think there's been like this huge momentum of just work and artists that people are taking notice of in a real way as well too. So I think that I'm just excited to keep it going. So
Scouting and recruiting upcoming filmmakers has been a really hallmark of this program. What plans and goals do you have in that area?
I think, to really kind of keep to the spirit of like not only what the program has done, but also sort of the larger legacy and reputation of Sundance. I think we really pride ourselves in, kind of to what you were saying, not only finding up and coming voices or, emerging voices or, people that are figuring out their own voice even. But I think that like, along with all of that as well, I think that it's, I think another thing that we always really pride ourselves on, and particularly within the Indigenous program, is sort of the community that we've made of not just other filmmakers, but other people that are trying other things as well in the film industry. But I think that our larger network of alumni have, as you can tell, from the last year, have been doing some really great things. And I think we're I won't say we take like the credit for that, because we don't, but I think it's just like we're really happy to help like make a lot of those connections and make a community where, this moment, again, kind of going back to what I was saying, it's not a competition. It's really like everybody's been rising up together in a certain way. And I think that, in our own way, I think we've been able to contribute to helping to sustain partly sustain what a lot of that community has been doing, kind of with our own pool of alumni. And there have been other people that have also been keeping up that community as well, but we're happy to kind of keep that up. And, Bird had always said, which I agree with too, that sort of with this moment, like the one way that we were going to always get there was by working together with each other. And I think that that's been a real sort of a thing that's been unique that I think you can see in terms of a lot of the collaborations that have happened both in film and TV. So.
Sure. Well, Adam Perrone, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
For 38 years, Robert Levi Jr. was a teacher at various schools, including at the Sherman Indian High School. Last week, he was named Cal State San Bernardino's first ever Elder and Culture Bearer in Residence. The position will aim to mentor Native students by giving them positive experiences while they receive their degrees. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you very much.
So tell us about this position. How did it originate and start?
Oh, it was back in August. I got a email that CSUSB was having an Indian student reach out, and so I got on, and it was well done, but it could have been done better. And so I started talking to the two recruiters afterwards, and they said, we got good ideas, and we were just dovetailing off each other, all three of us. And they said, why don't you just write a letter to the vice president? And so I did, and I thought, oh well, they're just not gonna, they'll read and put it away. No, about a couple of days later, I got a response from Dr. Robert Nava, and he said, we need to sit down and talk. So we did, and out of that came this position. We were trying to get a tribal liaison, but that wasn't working out. So I'm kind of taking the place of also with the tribal liaison too, but mostly I'm there to retain students, Indian students, on campus. So whatever they need in terms of just like making everybody feel at home, that's my job. And then also I do faculty, help the faculty understand about who Native Americans are, especially California Indians. I'm Kuya from Torres Martinez Desert Band of Kuya Indians. And then, so we tried, like, in fact, today I've got a little presentation for a history class later on. So again, I'm finding myself very busy, to be honest.
Provide some context for us in terms of how needed this position is. I'm not sure if there's actually any other colleges and universities in California who have a position like this.
Correct. UCSD is flying the position for cultural bearer, and then also I think UCLA has, a tribal liaison coming up too. So they're gradually catching on. I've talked to professors at Chico and Humboldt, and they're going to try and get an American Indian in residency at those universities and colleges. But the need is, for example, if I sat on a couple interviews for ethnic studies, and the interviewees, 3 out of the 4, were talking about American Indians, talking about the Kumeyaay in San Diego County, and also talking about the urban Indians in Oakland area. So, I got to say, talk to them about, okay, well, what about, just asking questions about, I'm an educator, like I said, I taught for 38 years. I was also the past chair for the California Teachers Association, American and Alaska Native Caucus. So, and we're starting writing curriculum. Out here in California, they passed the ethnic studies course. So now all high school graduates by 2024 have to take ethnic studies. And there's very few Indian teachers to, successfully teach that component. And then also, Assemblyman James Ramos has introduced AB 1554, which would emphasize more California Indian history. And so, with those two, I thought this is a very good opportunity to get more students to CSUSB and provide them to become teachers. There's only, like we say, 2 to 5% of all teachers in California are American Indian. So, I saw a void there and said, well, let me try it. I'm retired kind of sort of now, but that's what I want. I really want CSUSB to become the teacher center for American Indians.
You talked about this a little bit already, but tell us a little bit more about the types of roles that you'll be playing in these Native students' lives. I had read a press release where you said, I hope the Native students can come to me so I can tell them my corny res jokes, or I can provide a piece of home to them. But draw on that more.
Sure. Well, hopefully we'll have the students come on board, and we were talking about having a dorm floor just for American Indian students as we get, hopefully, well, no, not hopefully, when we get more and more students who are American Indian. And then, helping the student organizations running, fry bread sales. There's a, what do you call it? A gathering we have called Films and Fry Bread. and then we also have a reading circle. So anything that they may need in terms of maybe getting a conference room, a building, if they need it right away, maybe I can get it for them. Also, where my office is situated is right like across from the First People's Center. So I coordinate with them in terms of looking at when they're meeting, and then if they need anything, again, we really need an easy up, and a skirt for a table would be good so we can get out there into the public. And that's basically what I'm doing, is trying to get awareness more on the campus with both faculty, staff, and the students. So that's my participation.
Well, that is so very exciting, and I'm sure the Native students will be very excited to feel more supported over there. Robert, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Everybody have a nice day.
And that's a slice of our Indigenous world. For more news, visit IndianCountryToday.com. From all of us in the newsroom, stay safe, my relatives. I am Aaliyah Chavez.
Sometimes you got to take a stand, just because you know you can. Oh, you got to run, you got to run.